Hey there, friends, and welcome back to the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm so happy to have you here today. As a shop owner, your day is busy, so I appreciate you being here. Before we dive into today's podcast, I did want to invite you to my new free challenge coming up. It's called the Holiday Profits Challenge. We did it last year. You may have joined us last year. We had over 500 retailers. It's 15 minutes a day. It's all I need of your attention. So 15 minutes a day. And I promise you, if you do the 3 days or even just one of the days, come and join us, you're going to see more profits in your business. And I know that's a bold statement to say, but we're going to try some different things and some new things. And this is all without jumping through more hoops or doing more marketing. This is what we're already doing, just things that we can level up in our business that we're already doing. So today on the podcast, I want to share with you a couple of the ideas of what we're going to be talking about. So I hope you'll join us at the Holiday Profits Challenge. It starts on October 4th. You can find the link to join us at wendybatten.com/holiday challenge. And on the podcast notes, we'll have all of the links so that you can join us. And it will take place inside my Rockstar Creatives free Facebook group. So if you're a member of that, you can jump in there and get all of the information. We email out the challenge every day, so you don't have to show up live. You don't have to jump through hoops. I know you're busy, my friend. I know. So it's a simple way to just see some increase. So get on the list. We'll send you the videos every day, and I will be live every day inside my group, the Rockstar Creatives group, to discuss the 15-minute challenge of the day. It's very exciting to get momentum and motivation, I think, into how we can increase our pricing and profits. And, really at the end of the day, this is what we're in business for, right? We're in business to make sure that we are maximizing the profits of things that we're already doing, right? So I hope you'll join us. We have a lot of fun and we'll make profits. So it's a great way to jump in and start the holiday season. And we will be doing that again, October 4th to 6th. I hope you'll join us there. Okay, let's get into today's podcast, where we will be talking a little bit about profits and business, of course. And I'm going to give you some really good, solid takeaways today to get started with that. Let's go. Running a retail business doesn't have to be so hard. Welcome to the Creative Shop Talk podcast, the go-to podcast for creative shop owners, studio owners, and independent retailers. I'm your host, Wendy Batten, retail business coach and mentor. Each week, I'll share simple, proven business strategies, inspiring stories from fellow retailers, and advice from industry experts. Together, we're going to work to find the success you want from your retail business with more profits in your till and a little more joy in your life. All right, so today we're going to talk about the 1% difference. And what I mean by that is we sometimes have a tendency to put big goals. I'm a goal planner. You guys know if you've been around for a while, I'm a big believer in planning, and having big audacious goals and setting targets and all of those things. It's part of our business. But one thing that happens to us is we get so overwhelmed with all of this, right? Like it's just a lot to do in business, right? There's a lot to do as retailers. So one thing that I like to just sort of break things down and talk about the 1% difference. What if we just increase everything 1%? Or what if we just, in any part of our business, we can do small, tiny tasks. We can do little things that matter. We hear these things all the time, but sometimes it's hard to put it into action, I guess, to implement this 1%. I just want to share a little story about, so my husband and I, many of you, again, if you've been listening for a while, know that we've owned a couple of other businesses. A business we had for 23 years, a service industry business. And my husband did the sort of front end stuff. He ran that, sort of the front end of the business. And I ran the back end of the business, the invoicing, the payroll, all of the things, the number person, right? So we sometimes disagree or, we'd be looking at the profit and loss. And so we hired a financial coach and accountant, and we brought him in, and Ron showed us a really simplified way. And I share this story. I share this a lot with my coaching clients. I share it a lot in my inner circle, with my retailers' inner circle, that the percentages matter. Ron was the guy that got it in my head. And I actually, I talk about him a lot because I feel like it was like this shift in our business. And I am here to help you with the shift in your mindset of your business. Every percentage matters. And so what happened with us was my husband, who would be just, he understand, we all understand revenue, we all understand expenses. Yeah, we know, right? There's money comes in, money goes out, whatever's left over at the end of the day. To simplify all of this is our profit, right? Money in, money out, profit. So, we were always kind of like tweaking, and what can we tweak and what can we cut and what can we do? And really, when it came right down to it, we just had to look at everything in percentages. And once both of us, my husband a little more so. I hope he's not listening, but anyhow, he's probably listening. But, he really needed to see things in percentages. Why? And I was trying to explain, or, Ron explained to us, every percentage matters. So again, we talk about this a lot, in our business. We know our margins are a percentage. We know our, this is percentage, that is percentage, but really tweaking and understanding that it was just a massive shift for us. And the big shift was, we just have to go up a little bit with our revenue and, down a little bit. So we were literally like everything, fees and gas and, even our payroll, and how can we cut the payroll fees and, 1%, 2%, 5%, 3%, every percent matters. When we're growing our business, and whether that's trying to increase our foot traffic, whether that's trying to increase, our conversion, whether that's trying to, increase to lower our margins, whether that's trying to get healthier, and I say that with love, because that is really an important part. There's so many parts of our business that matter, and if we look at the big picture of where we want to be, sometimes we're like, ugh, that's going to be a lot to get there, right? So I love, and a lot of this comes from The Atomic Habit from James Clear. I mean, we were doing this for years, but he just so exemplifies, and he talks a lot about the 1% improvement every day, and the momentum, and that the compound momentum that creates, right? It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like that graphic we've all seen of, the little steps on the ladder. We're climbing the ladder one little step at a time, instead of trying to do these big leaps on a ladder that are just really hard. 1% is so doable. So the other day, yeah, sounds kind of funny, but recently, I guess is a better way to put it, on our podcast, episode number 73, I shared 3 numbers that are really important for us to measure and can really make a big impact in your business, right? That actually was foot traffic conversion and your average order value. So I wanted to just show you and give you some examples today on how you can take and increase just one of those numbers. Average order value is what we'll talk about today, and just how implementing a 1% better goal can really affect the bottom line for you in big ways. And you're already doing this, and you have control of this. I have so many retailers that say, well, this is my average order value, or this is my foot traffic, or this is my conversion rate, whatever. And I don't know, I think I'm trying everything. And they get very complacent about really being intentional. And please take this the way I mean it, with heart. We can't just sit back with our arms folded and say, oh, well, it is what it is. Because it isn't. We do have full control over some of the numbers and some of the things that are happening to us in our business, and understanding all of our, the numbers that matter in our business. And again, I'm going to urge you to go back and listen to episode 73. It was an encore presentation of our top 3 numbers that you should be measuring. And I promise you, this is probably one of my most downloaded and commented on and discussed podcast episode. That's why we actually made it an encore presentation, because it's so important and valuable. So as we're getting ready here for the holidays, this is the 1% improvement. So this can be week over week. You want to do 1%. You can do it day over day. You can do it month over month, whatever it is that you're measuring. So that, again, I'm going to talk a little bit about average order value, but you are in control of this. So we have so many things as a retailer to do. We have so many things, and things feel heavy, but we need to really make sure that we're paying attention and not just doing the busy work. So what is that thing that we need to work on today that we just want to get 1% better? And I hope I hope that is super clear. I hope that makes sense. Like, what is the thing today that I need to work on? And let's talk today about average order value. And I'm going to really concentrate on to get 1% better so that I can see improvement in my business. This doesn't mean answering emails. This doesn't mean all the other things I know you have to do. We have so many things to do, right? I totally get it. But there's there's things in our business that matter. And if they get better, if they get 1% better, if they get 2% better, they affect the bottom line. Maybe they affect a lot of things in your business. And again, we're going to talk numbers today. We're going to talk about your average order value, but what if, it could be your health. So personally, I'm trying to get 1% better at my health. I'm trying to walk a little further every day. I'm trying to do one more thing. When I first started, getting back to health again, because healthy mind, healthy body, has healthy business. I say that all the time. If we don't have the energy and we don't have the, if we're not healthy, we're not going to be able to run our business. So it's my responsibility as the CEO of my business to be here to coach and show up and be on it, for lack of a better word, and to serve my retailers. I have to be healthy. So I'm just on a process personally of trying to get 1% better when I walk every day. I'm also, I have retailers, they're just, they're doing that, but they're also doing 1%. So just 1% better at whatever it is that is important to your business. So 1% better at your average order value. So let's talk about that. So first of all, we have to know what that average order value is, right? If you don't know, or numbers and I don't like measuring, I hear it all the time. Just start where you are. Other retailers, I know if you're listening right now, you are on it. You know your numbers, you've been on, you've got all your metrics and you know everything that you're working on. And again, it's going to be a little bit easier for you maybe to step into that 1% better. But if you're just starting out, just start measuring. I want you to think about, again, back to this, why we care about 1%. Why do we care about 1%? Think about your entire revenue last year, the entire revenue, not profits, revenue, just the total revenue. Just take that big old bucket of money, the whole number, what your entire year's sales were last year, and 1% of that, and just put it in your pocket. Just take 1%, put it in your pocket. It's a pretty good number probably, right? Whether it's $50, $5,000, or, $5 million, 1% is fun, right? And it's also not that scary. 1% sounds doable, right? So when we look at things like our revenue, and we want to increase that 1%, we can put steps in place to do that. When we look, and let's start with our average order value. So let's look at our average order value. So here's the steps. Here's what I'd love you to do. I want you to find out your average order value, or bring it up, or look, source it out, look at your POS system. And again, you can go back and listen to episode 73. I share some strategies and tips on how you can do that. And then the second thing we're going to do is we're going to look at that number and we're going to say, what's 1% higher? Now, I know some of you out there, I know you're going to say, well, if I can go up 1%, I'll go up 8% or 10% or 12% or 20%. Maybe you're going to go up 50%, whatever that number is. But just start small. Just say, maybe it's just tomorrow. You're going to go up 1% tomorrow. And this is where we bring our team on board. This is where, if you have staff and you have employees, or, you have people on board, ask and get everybody together. How can we do this? So we're going to strategize on what we can do to increase that number. There are many, many things we can do to increase our average order value. So you might have tried some of these things. It might be time to try some new things. It might be there's, what, friends, the simplest things, put your price up. Maybe put your price up 1% right across the board. No one's going to notice. No one's going to notice. And I know some of you are doing that right now, but this is important. So maybe it's pricing, maybe it's better signage, maybe it's doing more in-store demos and showing more. Maybe it's, maybe it's just learning to sell. Maybe it's, that might be where we have to increase. Maybe not you, maybe it's your team. Bundles and packaging and suggestive selling and impulse buying. There's lots of ways that you can increase your average order value. For sure, you can increase it 1%. That's so doable, right? Think about it. It's that little tiny ring on the ladder of getting better. 1%. I think we can go up 1%. Challenge yourself. We all have a good challenge. We all like to gamify everything. Challenge your team. What percentage can we go up on our average order value? So that's your second part. Strategize on the different ways that you can increase your average order value. I know inside my Retailers Inner Circle, and more specifically in my Level Up Mastermind group, which is my next level after you are in the inner circle and you want to go to the next level, or you want the private mastermind group, I have seen magic happen there. It is crazy. The thing with the increasing your average order value, and again, I talk about this a lot in episode 73, that compounds. You go up 1% on your average order value over, 100 orders, and then that's a lot. That's a lot. It can really compound, and you haven't done any more work, any more marketing. You haven't done anything different other than really concentrated on that average order value. So I just want to let you know that it's so possible, super possible to go up 1%. So try to gamify it, strategize with your people, and brainstorm. If you're in the inner circle, jump in and ask us, and we'll brainstorm with you. This is, again, some of the things that we do, again, inside the inner circle. But if you have your people, just figure it out how we can increase 1%. And then the last part and the easy part, that's the fun part, and the gamifying part, is start measuring and really pay attention to that number. Keep track, be accountable to somebody, be accountable to yourself. When are you going to check this number? It's harder to be accountable to ourselves. Let me just talk about that for a second. It's really hard to stay on track. Sometimes we have the best intentions, but that little voice inside our head, gets us busy doing other things. So make this a priority. If you want, find somebody to be accountable to and say, I'm going to increase, declare it. I'm going to increase my average order value by 1% by next Friday, and, or by next week, and see what happens. And, put that, you can, if you're in our free group, in my Rockstar Creatives group, declare that statement for us. And then, we'll check up on you, declare that. And it really does make a difference if you have somebody to be accountable for it, but keep track of it. Make sure that you are measuring on a regular basis on how you're going to go up. And exciting part of all of this is that if you start now, you write you write your number down now, whether that's your average order value or whatever else you want to increase by 1%, and you really pay attention to that and you write it down. I promise, I pinky swear promise, if you are being intentional about it and doing the work and you're measuring, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, pick a time frame that you want to increase depending on your business model and what you're doing, but totally capable of measuring that average order value week to week, I would say. And just think about, and then look back. You'll be able to look back, keep this all in a safe place, in the same place. I know we're all busy and we have papers everywhere, and you might have planners and whatever. So where can you put this? On a Google Doc or a spreadsheet, or if it is in your planner, put it in a corner on the first day of the month or today, whatever you need to do. And I promise you, that's magic. You're going to look back 4 weeks from now, 8 weeks from now, and say, look at the progress I've made. Look at the progress I've made with just giving myself permission to just do 1% and not trying to reach this really hard goal of a 20% increase in my average order value before next week. When we have that pressure, sometimes it's really hard and we put it off. Totally doable, 1%. My friends, I already know some of you are like, oh, we can do 1%. I can do 2%. Don't make it too lofty. Let's just move it up slow. If you get 20% by doing the things that you're going to implement, that is amazing. But let's just talk about giving ourselves permission to just try 1% at a time. So I hope this takeaway for you is that thinking in percentages really does matter. And again, that goes from revenue and your expenses. And we'll talk more about that during our holiday profits challenge. And we talk about this inside my inner circle, and of course in our Level Up Mastermind group. So your 3 steps to do today is to know your average order value. And again, listen to episode 73 if you need a refresher on what I'm talking about, all through all of that, and what numbers you should be measuring. Number 2, strategize with your team and your people and yourself on different ways that you can increase your average order value by 1%. Just take a time frame that works for you. Again, whether that's weekly or monthly, but I'm positive that you can do it weekly, and that's totally doable. I'm going to promise you that you can do it weekly. In the different ways we can do that: signage, pricing, meeting with your team member, selling, learning to sell better, bundles, impulse buys, all of those things, they do matter. And then the third part is we are going to measure. We're going to keep track of those numbers, and we're going to watch, and we're going to see, and then we're going to celebrate when we get up 1%. And then when we go up the next percentage, and that 1% difference really does matter on your overall. Do not think it does not matter. Again, 1% makes a huge difference on the bottom line of your profit margins at the end of the year. It's a big thing. 1% is a really big thing. So again, we want to always be thinking in percentages. So I hope that helps a lot. Think about increments, 1% increments in all of the areas of your business. Again, whether that's your health, whether that's your, if we just got our team 1% better, if we did one thing better every day, our shop standards, got our shop 1% cleaner, whatever it is that you need to do to just level up and do it 1% at a time. One little thing better today than you did yesterday. Do one little thing, and being intentional about that. I promise you, it really does matter. So I'm hoping one of the actions that you can take away today is knowing your average order value and just thinking about it. This is, again, an action item that you can take action on right away, is knowing your average order value and asking yourself, how can we increase that by 1%? I promise you will see a difference in your bottom line. And again, I want to know what you're going to do to celebrate when you do that. So thanks for listening today. I hope that you found this helpful. I know math is always boring. Math is always boring. No one likes to listen to the 1%, or the percentages and the numbers, but really, it's what makes our business move forward, right? The profits and the profit margins and all of the fun stuff, all that CEO level stuff that we have to do. And it's going to keep us in business. And that 1% difference. And again, I think, we'll even title this podcast the 1% difference, because it does matter. Just one little thing every day, or 1% better today. So I just hope that encourages you to just do a little tiny bit better today than you did tomorrow. So don't forget, we do have our Holiday Profits Challenge. If you are looking to increase even more than 1% or way past 1%, I'd love to invite you to join us. It starts October 4th. As I'm recording this podcast, we have quite a few people already registered to join us. It's for 3 days. It's only 15 minutes a day. You don't have to show up live, my friend, although we do have a live component Q&A. You can come in if you want, but we do have it all pre-recorded for you so that you can. I know you're busy, and we're getting so excited about Q4. There's lots of things happening for Q4 this year. Lots of excitement, lots of nerves, lots of things happening. So let's get set up doing what you're already doing. Just level that up with your profits. I want to help you find more profits. Last year, I promise you, it was crazy pants. People say crazy pants. Anyway, crazy pants watching retailers just implement the simple things that I'm going to share with you during our 3 days of the challenge. And again, it's 15 minutes a day. It's worth every second, I promise you, of your invested time. So you can join us by registering. We have a workbook that you can follow along with. And again, you'll get the challenge emailed to you, and the lives will all be hosted inside my Rockstar Creatives free Facebook group. So thanks, my friend. I hope you are having a fantastic day. I hope you're getting excited about Q4. I hope things are feeling good. I hope things are well and safe where you are. Lots of craziness in the world right now. So I'm wishing you a safe and happy and healthy day. So we'll see you next week. We have another great podcast next week. Very excited next week to share with you. Well, it's a really big podcast next week. So come and join us. Hope to see you there. Thanks for listening, my friend. Talk to you soon. See you next week. Well, that's it for this week's episode of the Creative Shop Talk podcast. I'm so glad that you were here to join us this week, and I hope you found value in what we're sharing here. I want to remind you that our website has all of the show notes. You can find it at wendybatten.com/podcast podcast. Everything that you need to hear about today's podcast is there. Also an opportunity if you need to reach out to me. If I can support you in any way whatsoever, please feel free to reach out. Make sure you join our Rockstar Creatives Facebook group. We will continue the conversation over there weekly. So thanks for joining us. Please leave a review, subscribe if you can, and never miss an episode. We hope to see you back here again next week. Thanks, my friend. Have a great week.